I tried to make the cookies all the same size. If the last one was too big, I made the next one smaller.
If you want them to be the same size, you need to compare them to one perfect size cookie. Hi, and welcome to Keys for Kids. My name is Zach. Have you ever seen a ruler? It's exactly 12 inches long, and all of them are the same size. That way, when you measure something or use it to draw a straight line, you can trust that it's perfect and true. And that's exactly how God made Jesus to be. His character, goodness, mercy, and justice set the standard for how we should all live. Malachi 3:6 is a great reminder. It says, "I am the Lord, I do not change." Our story today is entitled, An Unchanging Standard. As Mason scooped up a large spoonful of cookie dough, his mom chuckled. "Hold on, Mason. We're making cookies, not frisbees. Here, let me make a model for you." Mom scooped up some dough and made it into a small round ball. "There, we'll put the cookies in the oven after I get Brinley out of her crib." When Mom returned, she looked at the cookies. Some were small and others were too large. "I tried, Mom," said Mason, "but they wouldn't come out right." "Did you compare each scoop of dough with the one I made?" asked Mom. "Well, I did for a while, but then I just compared each scoop to the one I made before it. If it looked too small, I made the next one bigger. If it was too big, I'd make the next one smaller." "But your standard changed for each cookie," said Mom. "No wonder they're all different sizes." She added a little dough to some cookies and took a little away from others to make them more the same size. "Mason, remember our conversation yesterday about Christians following a different standard than the world does?" "Yeah, you said that just because everyone else seems to be doing something or say it's okay doesn't make it right." "Exactly. Today, instead of comparing your cookies to the model I made, you compared them to various ones you made, and they weren't all the same size. We need to be careful not to make the same mistake in life and compare our actions to what other people say and do, because they don't all live by the same standard. We need to compare ourselves to the unchanging standard God has given us." "That's the Bible, right?" said Mason. "It tells us how we should live as Christians." "Right," said Mom. "The Bible gives us the standard, and Jesus is the model. Because we trust in Him, He's freed us from sin and has given us the Holy Spirit, who shapes us to be more like Him, just like I shaped your scoops of dough to look more like mine." Mom put the sheet of cookies into the oven. Jesus sets the standard of how we should live as Christians, and He's the example we should compare ourselves to, not other people. So how about you? What standard do you use to determine how you should live? Many things will change in your life, but the standard God gives us in His Word never changes. Because our sin makes us fall short of God's perfect standard, Jesus met that standard for us. If you trust in Him, He has freed you from sin's power and given you the Holy Spirit, so you can follow His example. God is always the same, and His standard never changes. So model your life after Jesus. Our key verse is found in the Old Testament book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6.
"I am the Lord, I do not change."
And here is our key thought for today: God doesn't change. I hope that you love listening to the Keys for Kids stories every day. If you want to read them on your own, now you can do that on your Nook or Kindle. And when you're done with the stories, there's games and crafts for you too, like making slime from the Pity Puddle story. Just ask one of your parents to go to keysforkids.org and then click Shop. The Keys for Kids ebook is a fun way to have story time with God every day. So learn more about Him and get the ebook at keysforkids.org. Then click Shop. I'm Zach. Thanks for listening to Keys for Kids.